In a village renowned for its skilled hunters, there lived a young man named Ipe. He was truly brilliant, the best hunter in the entire land. It seemed that whenever Ipe ventured into the forest, he always returned with game. Success was his constant companion. One afternoon, a stunningly beautiful young maiden appeared in the village square. She had a clay pot perfectly balanced on her head, and her beauty simply took everyone's breath away. In a clear voice, she announced to all who had gathered, "Whoever can knock this pot from my head shall become my husband." Immediately, the men of the village lined up, each one eager to try his luck. Strong men, clever men, young men, they all tried, but every single one of them failed. The pot remained perfectly steady, as if glued to her head. Just then, a young boy, seeing the commotion, ran to Ipe's house. He found him at the back of the compound, busy cracking palm kernels. "Brother Ipe," the boy shouted excitedly, "there's a beautiful lady in the village square. So many men are competing to win her hand. You must come and try your luck." Reluctantly, Ipe picked up a single palm kernel shell and followed the boy back to the square. When they arrived, the crowd parted for him. Ipe barely even aimed. With one casual, almost effortless throw of the shell, he struck the pot. It tumbled from her head and shattered into pieces on the ground. The crowd erupted in a roar of cheers. The beautiful maiden smiled warmly and took Ipe's hand. She was now his wife. That night, as they sat together in his home, the young woman began to ask Ipe about his hunting secrets. "Honey," she said, her voice as sweet as nectar, "how do you manage to escape all the dangerous animals you encounter in the bush?" Ipe, filled with pride and trusting his new wife completely, began to reveal his most guarded secrets. "We hunters," he boasted, "we have special medicine passed down from our fathers. When we meet a fierce animal, we can transform ourselves into a tree." She leaned in closer, her eyes wide with curiosity. "But what if the animal is clever and tries to destroy all the trees around you?" she pressed. "Ah," Ipe continued, "in that case, I'd turn into a bird and simply fly away. And what if," she whispered, "the animal also becomes a bigger, faster bird to chase you through the sky?" Ipe opened his mouth to reveal his final, most powerful secret, but suddenly, his father's voice thundered from inside the house. "Ipe, keep quiet." Ipe immediately fell silent, startled by his father's command. The very next day, Ipe prepared to accompany his new wife to her home village to perform the traditional marriage rites. They set off together, walking side by side into the thick, dense forest. They walked for hours, until they were deep in the wilderness, far from any help. And then, in an instant, the woman's beautiful form twisted and contorted. She transformed into a ferocious, snarling lion. She lunged straight at Ipe, her eyes burning with hunger, ready to devour him. Thinking quickly, Ipe used his first secret and turned into a tall tree. But the lion woman, the demon, knew this trick. She began smashing and clawing at every tree around her, getting closer and closer. Just before she reached him, Ipe transformed into a bird and shot upwards into the sky. But she was ready. She too became a bird, a massive, terrifying hawk, larger and faster than him, and gave chase through the clouds. Ipe was running out of options, but he had one final secret left. It was the one his father had stopped him from revealing. As the demon hawk closed in, Ipe spoke the final incantation and transformed himself into a tiny, simple ring, dropping silently out of the sky and landing unseen in the thick bush below. The demon searched everywhere. She smashed trees. She scanned the ground, her eyes glowing with fury. But she could not find him. She didn't know the last secret. And that is how Ipe, the great hunter, escaped with his life. An evil spirit had disguised herself as a beautiful woman to claim him, but wisdom and a father's timely warning saved him from a terrible fate. This story reminds us that not every beautiful opportunity is a blessing. Sometimes the most dangerous traps come wrapped in the most attractive packages. And always listen to your elders. They often see the dangers that we cannot. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more tales like this, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.